Do you know what continent we're on right now?
Continent, United States.
You know who won the Civil War, East or West?
East.
Gen Z is not okay, and we might just be doomed. This hilarious street interview with young people makes me honestly kind of pessimistic about the future of America and democracy, plus so much more on today's episode of the Brad vs. Everyone podcast, my daily show where I take on the craziest ideas from across the internet and across our politics, all from an independent perspective. So I think I'm going to do something a little bit different on Fridays going forward, and instead of covering, serious news stories and the topics of the day, just pick different videos to discuss and react to that I find interesting, that are popping off on the internet or on YouTube or somewhere else, and just kind of have a more fun, laid-back day on Friday, because I'm often really burnt out by a week spent touring around the internet on the hell gondola, as my friend Sydney Watson puts it. Let me know whether you guys like that idea and enjoy this episode so I can decide whether to keep doing it going forward. And now, let's check out a video from the YouTuber Justin Wad, whose content I really like. He goes around and does these deadpan street interviews with brain dead people, especially young people and Gen Zers. His latest is from San Francisco, and boy, it is a doozy.
Who becomes president if the current president can't serve anymore?
The last president.
Yes, very good. Do you know who won the Civil War, East or West?
East or West?
East.
Bro.
Yes, good. When I was 20 years old, my sister was half my age, and now I'm 50 years old. How old is she?
I fucking hate these.
40.
You're 20, she was half your age, and now you're 50? 25?
Yes. You know who the current vice president is?
Oh, come on.
How you see it?
Trump. Yes. Do you know what 3 plus 3 divided by 3 is?
3 plus 3 is 6, divided by 3. Nah, I can't do that right now.
Around what? Give me like a best guess.
I'm not doing that right now.
Give me your best guess. A number.
Wait, 3 divided by 3. Wait, what you said?
3 plus 3 divided by 3.
3 plus 3 divided by 3. I don't think we could do that, right? Wait, 3 plus 3 divided... 1? Wait.
Wait, you're close. You're close.
3 plus 3 divided by 3, 2?
Yes. Would you rather 1,000
4.
pennies or $7.50?
$7.50.
Yes, good choice.
Y'all, it is always hard with these man on the street videos to know how representative they are of the actual general public, but like the math skills on display here are appalling. They are shocking. The numerical illiteracy it requires to not understand that 1,000 pennies is more than $7.50 is really quite something. And to not be able to do basic order of operations and all this stuff. Like, look, I took up to Calc 2 in college, and I took AP Calc in high school. And so I don't remember any of that shit. I don't remember the differential equations and the integrals and any of that. I couldn't do any of it. But like basic addition and subtraction and division and counting, y'all, are people really not being equipped with these basic skills in school? Now we're on to the geography part of today's pop quiz.
Can you name 3 countries in South America?
South America, Brazil.
1.
Okay.
Is Portugal?
Bro.
2, yeah.
Portugal, Brazil. I don't know nothing.
Do you know what continent we're on right now?
Continent,
Oh, come on.
United States.
Good. Do you know how many continents there are in total?
No, I'm not sure about that. Maybe 140, 130.
140, 30. Yeah, around there.
My dude here actually doesn't know the difference between a continent and a country. Y'all, people will say, like I always say, democracy is the worst system of government except for all the other ones. But this kind of thing does make me just lose faith in it. The idea that this dude and my vote or your vote all counts the same. This is fine.
Do you know who won the Civil War, East or West?
Oh my God, don't ask me this.
Or what?
Like, I'm drunk.
Which one? Which one?
I don't know.
How many presidents have we had so far?
50.
Yes, good. Do you know what state the Boston Tea Party happened in?
It's Boston? Not Boston, but
Oh, come on.
oh God, I know this.
Do you?
Yes.
Yeah, you do.
Say it's Boston.
No help. You don't get help.
Oh shit. I know the 46th president. We're on that. I'm supposed to be going to Boston tomorrow, so.
What state is it?
New Jersey? No,
Oh.
no, it's not New Jersey.
Oh
Is
my
it?
god.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. There you go.
Y'all, I'm from Massachusetts and Rhode Island. Like, I grew up in New England, so obviously this is super obvious to me, but do people not know what state Boston is? And look, maybe if you grew up in the Midwest or something and haven't traveled much, you just wouldn't know that. But you're going there tomorrow, and yet you don't know what state you're going to. People like this are allowed to drive. They're allowed to walk the world unconstrained, and that makes me concerned.
What year did we gain our independence?
1848.
Yes, good. Do you know who the current vice president is?
Who the vice president? Who the vice president?
You know this. Who do you think it is?
I don't even know. Wait, ain't that
No, give me a guess. Give me a best guess. You can't look it up. Just guess. Give me a quick guess.
bro? I don't even know. I don't pay attention to the government, bro.
Do you know what the Pentagon is for?
It's where all the political people make the calls. That's where the shot calling happens.
Very good. Yes. Do you know what shape the building is?
I don't think it's a pentagon. I don't think it's really a pentagon though.
Good. Do you know what it is then? You didn't fall for that one.
I think we'll go with a square.
Nice.
Yes. Very good. What year did we gain our independence?
July 4th? Oh, what year? Fuck.
July 4th what?
I don't know.
Around one. Give me a year.
God help us.
1800s?
18 what? You're close.
1864?
Yes.
Yes.
I just love how he ends every incorrect answer by affirming their Delulu and being like, yes, great job. And I don't know how he keeps a straight face. I'm honestly, this guy's name is Justin Watt. I'm going to link his channel. Go follow him or subscribe to him. I don't know how he keeps a straight face. I could not help but laugh at these people. I just couldn't. I try not to be a jerk, but like, there's no way I could keep a straight face. Just no way.
Do you know what 3 plus 3 divided by 3 is?
Shit, no. All right, there goes 3.
Around one. Give
No,
me a
it's
best
2. It's
guess.
5.
Wait, 2 or 5?
5.
Oh, yeah.
No. Hold on.
You're close. You tell me.
It's 2.
It's
It's
4.
5. The answer is 5.
Yes. Do you know what shape the Pentagon is in Washington, D.C.?
The what?
The Pentagon, like the building?
Nah, I'm not Dominican Republic. I'm not Dominican.
Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah.
Do you know on
What?
a map what country is right above South Korea?
No.
Picture a map. Do you know what year we gained our
North
independence?
Korea!
No.
Give me your best guess.
Um.
A year.
Wait. Can you repeat the question?
What year we gained our independence? No, you know this. Give me your best guess. What year we gained our independence? Here, come in the video. What year?
What year did we get our
Independence, yeah.
Bro, ain't that the
A number. Give me a year.
right? 1943.
Yes. What's 3 plus 3 divided by 3?
3 plus 3 divided by 3 is 2.
Yes.
So I love how with the math question, none of them, like they're shouting out random numbers and none of them have even still stumbled on, even just shouting out random numbers in the ballpark, none of them have even stumbled on the correct answer for. Bruh.
Easy. We'll start with easy. How many states are there?
Aren't there like 20?
Yes, good. Do you know how many stars there are in the flag?
Oh my god.
I'm drunk.
No, give me your best guess.
25?
Yes. Do you know what they stand for?
That, I'm not gonna lie to you, no.
Do you have a guess? Do you think? Anything?
I don't know. I guess for everybody that just like planted they, I don't know.
That's good. If today's Thursday, what day of the week will it be in 13 days? You know this. Give me a day. You can't guess.
Wait, either Wednesday or Thursday. Wait, I don't know.
Give me a day. You know this.
Tuesday?
Do you know who won the Civil War, East or West?
I don't know none of this shit right now. I've been drinking, I've been smoking, so guess what? Bang!
Okay, maybe I'm crazy, but you know what? I'm not a saint. I've drank back in the day. I even smoked back in the day. I would still know the answers to these basic questions. Like, being drunk obviously lowers your faculties, but it doesn't erase your brain cells. Am I missing something, y'all? Like, let me know in the comments. Am I missing something?
Can you name 3 countries in Africa?
Ah, shit.
Oh, come on.
Egypt,
1, yeah. Go.
Nigeria.
2.
Fuck.
Just need one more. Oh,
Would you rather have 1,000 pennies or $7.50?
1,000 pennies or $7.50?
Yeah, which one?
$7.50.
Yes, good. I couldn't get you there.
Yeah, they decided to take the math is not mathing to a new level today.
All right, if the president can no longer serve, who becomes president?
Me!
Can you name 3 countries in North America?
Oh, there aren't countries in North America. These get me.
Yeah, I couldn't get you there.
Couldn't get him.
What? Like, actually. Wait, what? Can you name any or no?
America is a country.
Like, in North America.
Wait, you went. Oh shit. Spain.
Yeah, there you go.
Brazil.
2. One more.
He really said Spain.
That's all I got.
No, you're close. One more. Give me one more. Yeah, you're right there.
The Dominican Republic.
3. Yes. Do you know what country Mount Rushmore is in?
No. Washington? Country, North America.
Oh my God.
United States, whichever one you want to call it.
She was
Same
so
difference.
close. Okay.
Would you rather have
kinda,
1,000
event-
pennies or $7.50?
I'll have $7. Yeah, I don't like change.
Good, yeah.
Nah, I don't like change.
Okay, so that's actually a valid way to answer the question, in that 1,000 pennies would be inconvenient, and the monetary difference between that and 750 is small enough that it might be much just worth just giving the $7.50. It's easier to spend. So I don't love that question. I feel like that's the one question in this mix that is actually not a great question for these purposes. Anyway, guys, that's the end of that video from Justin Awad, who, remember, you can check out. I'll link him in the description. But boy, the Delulu on display in this interview series is quite something. And I wonder, you never know with these man on the street videos, how much are they cherry picked? Did he just cut out all the smart people and just show us the crazy ones? But it's clearly just filmed across a couple of hours. He's in the same outfit. It's one evening. And to find that many ignorant, delusional people is still concerning, because whether we like it or not, I mean, some of these people look just maybe in their teenage years, but some of them look like young adults. Regardless, they're all going to be voters soon enough if they aren't already, or maybe they stay home, which honestly is probably for the best. But like, young people are going to inherit this country, and not all, certainly not all, potentially not even most, but a hefty chunk of Gen Z is deeply civically, historically, and constitutionally, and apparently numerically illiterate. And that's really, really concerning to me. I just wanted to share this video with you guys because honestly, it made me laugh out loud, but also slightly lose hope for the fate of humanity. Let me know what you think in the comments, and do hit that like button to reward my suffering. Remember, I do read the comments, so I always take the time to check out what you guys have to say, and I pick a few to respond to in every episode. Plus, if you comment with a super chat or a super thanks, I'll definitely read it on the next show. And now, it's time for Brad versus TikTok, my daily segment where I take on the craziest ideas from the Clock app.
Pronoun of the day is slug slugs.
Today, this 19-year-old TikToker thinks she's running for president. Let's take a listen to her ideas.
I'm 19 and running for president of the United States. Here's
So I'm gonna let you finish, but you're actually not, because that would be illegal. The Constitution requires you to be 35 years old or older to run for president. Now, she clarifies that she's running for president in 2040. We're not off to a great start, but let's hear her out.
what I'm gonna do when I'm elected. So I've had a lot of people ask about my platform, and you can read the full thing in the link in my bio. But I'll go over the 5 key points. So the first thing I want to do is I want to eliminate all corporate lobbying. I want to end insider trading. I want to make the government less corrupt. And the main driving force of this would be a law that I'd sign that would limit campaign contributions to $1,000 a person and ban corporations from funding our elections.
So our not great start has actually gotten less great. First, ban corporate lobbying. Look, I think we'd all like less corporate influence in our politics, but you actually just can't do that. The First Amendment specifically names and guarantees the right to petition your government for redress as a constitutional right that all people, even those who work for corporations, are entitled to. Corporations do have a constitutional right to request the government to shape certain policies in certain ways or to make different choices. And I mean, they're affected by the policies and rules that governments make. So, I mean, they should have a right to have their voice heard. So the idea that you can or should ban them from lobbying is not correct. Second, when she talks about ending insider trading, if what she means is congressional stock trading, I'm actually open to that. I do think it's highly suspicious how people like Nancy Pelosi get inside information, but also are buying and selling individual stocks, and then they're beating the market. Now, Congress overall doesn't beat the market, but certain individuals do. So I'd be totally open to a rule saying, you have to have general funds or a blind trust or something you can't personally, or your spouse or your brother or something like that, can't personally trade individual stocks. I think that'd be reasonable, and maybe she's onto something with that one. But then the thing about limiting campaign contributions to $1,000 per person, they're already limited to, I think, $3,300 per person per election. So that's not a huge difference. And that $2,000 isn't what's currently shaping politicians' influence. The real thing is the super PAC spending, which you can't actually limit because of Citizens United, which is a Supreme Court case, a Supreme Court decision that the president can't change. So there's just a lot that's off here, to be honest. But there's more.
The second thing I want to do is make the economy fairer for all. I want to break up big monopolies that are causing our prices to be sky high, which will drive down inflation and bring down your grocery bill.
Oh boy. Well, if only somebody had thought of the idea to make the economy fairer. Here too, our friend is quickly going off track and losing the plot, because this idea that corporate monopolies are the reason prices have gone up, babe, no. Market concentration did not change from 2020 to 2021. There wasn't suddenly more monopolies, and that's why prices went up. That's not how that works. Market concentration in the US hasn't meaningfully changed for decades, yet prices have rapidly risen over the last few years. And that's because it's not about monopolies or corporate greed. It's about overstimulus spending. It's about printing money by the central bank. It's about global supply chains and so many other things. But you've got a fake scapegoat behind this high prices problem. And so if that's what your solution is aimed at, it's not actually going to do anything or help anybody.
And the third thing I want to do is secure human rights for all, both constitutionally mandated rights, and make food a human right, water a human right, and end discrimination once and for all.
Oh boy. So just everything is going to be free, and we're all going to have human rights to everything we need. That doesn't sound naive or utopian at all. But you don't actually have a human right to food or water or shelter, because those are things that other people have to work to provide. No, as an adult, you have human rights, but you have negative human rights. You have the right to not be harmed physically by someone else. You have the right to not be censored by your government. You have the right to not have your property stolen, but you are not entitled to anything. You don't have a right to someone else's labor, to someone else's resources, to resources that don't just magically appear and can never be made free. As an adult, it is your job to provide for yourself and meet your own needs, not force other people to meet them for you in the name of some fictional right. And hilariously, we're going to have free everything, and everything's going to be human right, but we're also going to have lower taxes. Let's listen.
The fourth thing I want to do is lower taxes for the people, end corporate tax loopholes for the rich, secure the minimum wage by tying it to inflation.
I've been over this data on this show many times, but the rich already pay the vast majority of federal taxes. You can't squeeze much more out of them. Corporate taxes, if you increase those just affect workers. They're borne out through lower wages and fewer jobs. So there is no meaningful way to have huge new federal entitlements and programs without any new taxes for the working class or the middle class or anything like that. This is the Lulu land, not actual policy.
And the last thing I want to do is I want to shift our foreign policy from a world of war to a world of peace, essentially aggressively negotiating with places instead of going to war with them, ending the arming of oppressive regimes, and spending our budget on the people instead of the rich and war. Comment below if you have any questions.
I have many questions, but I don't think you have answers, unfortunately. Now, maybe you will by 2040, but so far, I've got to be honest, not super impressed. There is just this naive, youthful nature I observe with a lot of these TikTokers where they think that this stuff is actually cut and simple. It's actually not complicated or hard. And they know the solutions, right? All the generations that came before them just couldn't see how obvious it is to just fix things. We just need a foreign policy focused on peace instead of war. Nobody's ever thought of that before. What did you think of this young woman's political campaign? Do let me know in the comments below. And now, I'll wrap up today's show by reading a few of your comments from the last episode. One person says, "Hey Brad, first I love your show. I don't always agree with you, but I do really like being able to hear another point of view on many issues. I am wondering what you think about content creators being held responsible for putting things on their channel without due diligence. I totally support the First Amendment and don't think we should censor people, but reporters and news professionals technically aren't supposed to publish things that are untrue and have a responsibility to fact check their stories. Should we hold content creators to those standards? What do you think?" Thanks so much for the support and for your interesting question. What I would say is actually news media and journalists from a government point of view are allowed to publish things that are untrue, and only in the most narrow of circumstances can they be sued for defamation or libel. And YouTube and content creators can also be sued for those things. So on that sense, it's a level playing field. Now, societally and professionally, journalists who make things up or post fake things will face sanction. And I do think creators get away with it a little bit more. So I think we should apply more social pressure and stigma to them. But I mean, the First Amendment does protect the right to publish things that aren't true. And so unless you wade into the narrow territory of defamation or slander or something like that, there's not a whole lot that can be done about that from a legal perspective. But from a consumer point of view, it's ultimately about where people, vote with their attention and their time. Do you keep watching people who've gotten things really wrong and made big mistakes and not corrected them? If you do, they're never going to have to really change. So that's kind of on the people, I would say. Another person says, "Your show is the YouTube voice of reason day after day. Thanks very much for sharing your well-informed and thoughtful perspectives." Thank you so much. That's exactly what I'm going for, and I really appreciate the support. Another person writes, "I hate it when people tell me that my opinion/argument is invalid because I'm a straight white male. It actually makes me angry. Either my argument is valid or it is not. And if it's not valid, then please explain why without addressing my skin pigment, chromosomes, or who I'm attracted to. The race, gender, or sexual orientation of a person making an argument is completely irrelevant to the merit of said argument." Yes, I completely agree with you. And it is what I described as anti-logic. It is what often progressives will do. I experience this a lot on college campuses where they would say, "You're just a white privileged man," in response to something I've said. And I'm said, okay, we could dispute that on many levels, but how am I wrong? You haven't actually addressed any of my points. Another person writes, "I never thought about that point of view on the rise of prices during a disaster. I live in Canada, so we only worry when big snowstorms come in, but I would have been angry if they raised prices, but now I totally understand." Thank you. Well, I'm glad you understand, and I hope people enjoyed that segment and appreciate when I talk about economics. You don't always have to agree, but I'm just going to give you my honest perspective. Another person said, "Thanks, Brad, for addressing issues regarding price gouging during emergencies. An often overlooked concern during these situations is the actual logistics of supply chains. No matter what services or goods a company supplies, the same logistics that affect individuals during disaster scenarios also affect companies. Infrastructure collapse, transportation difficulties, and communication disruption all contribute to increased costs. So while it may feel unfair for companies to increase prices for goods and services in these markets, it is disingenuous to claim that suppliers are simply profiteering without first responsibly researching the true costs of supply chain management." Yes, I completely agree, and I think that's a valid point, but it's much easier if you're a politician to just bash those greedy corporations and get points for yourself, I guess. All right, everybody, that's it for this episode of the Brad vs. Everyone podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in and joining me. Do make sure you're subscribed if you aren't yet. Do hit that like button before you go, and do comment with your thoughts. I do take the time to read the comments, and I pick a few to respond to in every episode, so please do comment with your thoughts. I would love to hear from you. And with that, we'll talk again next week.